This is just a quick audio check to make sure that everything sounds good for the stream and that it looks real good too. Well, at least what I'm seeing looks good. You guys can't see it yet, but I could see it. It's incredible. So we're going to continue going on to part 3 now. This is just a quick audio check. Here is the audio coming in. Beautiful. I love it. It's amazing how much of a delay YouTube really does give you, huh? I think it's like, they say it's supposed to only be about 2 seconds, but my goodness, it's a lot longer than that, huh? You can figure that out. So just to kind of bring everything back up to speed this time around, if anybody's watching this in separate segments, or for me for editing purposes for the future, we're going to be going over the Wolf of Wall Street training guide. My name is Sebastian Shiminkowski. I handle this channel called SebbyDTrainedMe. I started it basically to help people that are struggling with getting sales and leads during the pandemic, because unfortunately looking online, looking at LinkedIn, looking basically anywhere where you could have eyes, or just hearing, you know, what's going on out there, it's really, really bad. And you know, if I could help and share any advice that I could give from, you know, my kind of mindset, I'm happy to help. You know, to be very honest, I think it's very important that, you know, we as sales and marketing people stick together. And you know, I consider myself lucky enough where I'm kind of young enough where I could still give a very young person like mindset, but I guess you could say experienced enough to the point to understand what business owners, C-level executives, directors, marketing managers, basically anyone within that sphere is looking for, because it's no longer a singular approach that's going to help you be successful. And there's a lot of practices now that are unfortunately forgotten. Like, you know, people say ridiculous things like like the phone is dead, or like events are never going to come back. And all of these things couldn't be, you know, couldn't be any less from the truth. And I really think it's important for me to help give some perspective, because being in the game as long as I have, and really seeing it develop from its inception, from where technology initially started, from like the birth of the internet to, you know, where it is today and how it's developed since, there's a lot of education to be given, and that's why I'm doing this. So I guess we could get started. We're about 1 minute out at this point. So whoever is here, thank you in advance. I appreciate it. Gonna have the live scene going here. Oh my goodness, it's very bright. The camera that I'm using has like an additional light on it, and my goodness, it is doing its job. Okay. It feels like the monitor should be doing enough. Normally I'm streaming very late at night, so the camera does make a difference, but for now, this works too. Okay, so we've went over the, I guess 2 parts at this point. I'm going on to the 3rd part of the Wolf of Wall Street training manual. And to be honest with you, it's been very informative. I found some amazing things that I could share. If you guys would like to watch part 2 and 1 earlier, we went over these initial principles. So I'm going to slowly scroll down as I'm going over these things in case anybody has some interest to take a look at the previous material, right? I'll just take a quick stop there for everyone. You know, you got to be hungry. Very important information, right? Persistence was a very powerful topic that we discussed. Remember, Discipline over motivation 1 million times over and over and over again. I promise you, it's just something that you'll be so much better off with. Okay, this one I really enjoyed. This was actually where we last left off, so I'll hover over this one for a second and we'll pick it up from here. So persistence, guys, there's really the fact that, Calvin Coolidge said that, persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. To me, like, that's very, very powerful. And if you ended up watching the previous video, you'll see how much enthusiasm I had on this topic, because it's real easy to give up on like video 2, right? In my instance, right? Like, I personally will refuse to give up making these videos until one out of two things happen. One, I actually receive enough messages from folks saying that my videos help them. Or two, like, now that I started doing it, like, I don't really want to see myself stop doing it, because I feel that there's so much misinformation in the world that if I could really help shed some really authentic but genuine information, I think that might really help. All right, so we're going to keep going on here. All right, so we went over to always be closing, yes, and I started laughing. Get that lead. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have heard always be closing, right? My God. Let me tell you something. I'm so sick and tired of hearing always be closing throughout this sales and marketing career. If you're like a leader or like a marketing manager, can you just please not? Can you come up with something a little bit more clever? All right. Always be closing. I'm going to go with always be consuming information. Get that lead. No kidding, huh? Get that lead. Now, guys, what has always been closing, right? ABC, right? Make it sound so simple, right? Like, oh, all you got to do is close it. Let me tell you something. The fact that people think that it's so simple to just get a lead by saying, oh, here's some material, right? Oh, here's my favorite kind of company that gives you stuff and expects you to do well. Okay. Insert 50 to 150 size. Actually go bigger than that. Go, let's say 250 to like 500. Bam. Okay. All right, sir. Welcome aboard. All right. Here's all this amazing information I'm going to share with you. Well, it's super informative. Okay, great. So they give you this training manual. Depending where you're at, they give you like this deck. It's like, here you go. You have to learn this information. Here's company culture. Here's all this other fun stuff that they want to teach you, right? And then they're like, once you figure this out and you sit down with 15 other guys and you guys have a conversation, or you go to this meeting with this guy, or you hit so many appointments, you get to do it on your own. Okay, great. So what you basically are is a glorified PDF document. You're a PDF that has arms, legs, and a head. It's not going to help you. What people are not training their employees on, they're like, oh, you have to know about the solution and care about the company culture. That's what leadership says. That's what so many, I'm getting chilly, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to bundle up here. In my nice warm blanket, because I'm at home. I get to do this. Nice sun blanket. So they come up with this concept, and it's like, here's what I need you to do, sir. I need you to get this lead. And they tell you all this information. They're like, well, find the person's problem. Okay, well, that's pretty simple, right? You find the problem and you're like, well, my solution does this. Okay, great. The problem is that like 10 other companies got a similar solution, And if one guy is going to build a better relationship than the currently guy that you are, well, let me tell you something. That other guy is going to win. Okay? Relationship building and emotion building are so important outside of product knowledge or service knowledge. All right? And I said that separate, right? Emotional building is separate. All right? People do things emotionally. Let me tell you something. Right now, it's snowing out. Okay? My emotion is, damn it. My emotion is that I got to go outside after I'm done doing this stream, and I got to go out there. I got to shovel this snow. Damn it. Okay? Now, my other emotion is I really wish I had bought that snowblower in the summertime when it wasn't $750. Damn it. Okay? So, okay, lesson learned. So I'm not really happy about that, but emotionally, I'm getting myself prepared for a problem that I have to fix and deal with. Because if I don't, my problem's going to get bigger. Right? If I let the snow keep piling on and I wait till it gets night, it's going to get hard. It's going to hurt my back more. I could shovel the snow now. I could do some research. Maybe I could find out if it's going to stop snowing in like 20 minutes versus 4 hours. But I'm learning. I'm figuring things out. I'm figuring things out about my customer. Unfortunately, the snow in my little lesson that I'm sharing right now is my customer. The snow sucks. I need to get rid of the snow for my... Actually, you know what? The snow isn't my customer. My wife is my customer. I got to get her happy, right? But what I'm trying to say is it's all emotionally driven. Like, okay, let me give you another example. All right. So I really want to keep using snow as an example because I find it interesting at the moment. All right, let me give you another one. All right. So you have this, here's a good one. You know how people are like always, sell me this pen or this thing, right? All right, what about, you guys ever heard the one about how would you sell the guy snow or ice who lives in an igloo? Here, I got a good one for this one, right? So it's all emotional driven stuff, right? So imagine you're an you're an Eskimo, and then you go out and sell, you have to sell ice to other Eskimos. Damn, what a shitty job, right? So your job is you got to sell this ice, right? So you knock on the little wooden door, and you sit down. There's a fire inside, right? You look around, no windows. That sucks. Right? Okay. I got ice. My ice is clear. Cool. All right. All right. Hey, Mr. Customer, I noticed that you don't have any windows in here. What I got for you is I got a solution for this, right? What you could do is you could take my clear blocks of ice, right? And you could replace a north side, a south side, an east side, a west side, you know what I mean? Maybe you could even do like a cool little layer and like maybe even get one on the top so you could see up, if it's nice, you could check out the stars and all this other stuff. I don't know if I'd be able to be that clear, but here's what I can promise you. You'll know that at least that it's, snowing out. You don't have to get out of your warm little space and, got your beautiful warm blanket on, just like I do currently. And, man, wouldn't it be better to just be able to turn your head right by your bed, look out your little new ice window and be like, man, it's really coming down out there. I don't want to do that today. I'm just going to keep tending to my fire and staying warm and enjoying some delicious smoked salmon and venison jerky. Oh, delicious. Can we please do that instead? Oh, by the way, what I could do is I could have my ice installed one today right by your bed like I was telling you, and maybe we'll get the other 3 installed for the, northeast and south side. And then, if you want, we'll talk about doing the top. How's that sound? Right? So, I mean, if it's an emotional sell, you're able to do it better. And I'm always talking about doing things better because there's always a way to do it better. What do you mean? Like, oh, this way has been working for so long. Let's just never fix it. Get that lead. God, like, I don't care what you sell. I don't care what you sell. You better figure out how it emotionally affects the person. I read this one story, and for the life of me, I can't quote it. So if somebody decides to look it up and, wants to drop it in the comments, I'm not sure where I heard it from, but I heard that there was this lady that wanted to get her wedding funded, and she didn't have enough money. So she reached out to Heinz Ketchup Company, and she said that, I love your ketchup. I believe in your design. I'm trying to get married. She contacted the marketing department at the time, and this was like, I believe in like the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. And they ended up like reaching back out to her, and I think they took a photo of her holding the Heinz ketchup bottle over her head while wearing her wedding dress. And they ended up like paying for like 70% of her wedding or like 50% of her wedding. And I think the husband that got like hot dogs and like ketchup for like a year or some shit. Look, at the end of the day, brilliant. Okay. Earlier today, my friend, Dante, I haven't seen him in many, many years now since I moved from Denver. But I read a lot of his posts, and I like to think that, transcending, we're always thinking of each other. He mentioned something in a post today, like, that you're able to do limitless things. And wholeheartedly, I believe that, right from the bottom of my heart. Let me see, I think I had a message alert come up. Let me see if anybody shot me a message in here. I'm not sure if they did or not. Okay, apologize. But anyway, so, you really can do anything. It might take a little bit of effort to get it going. Like, for instance, like this whole stream setup that I have, it wasn't a real simple thing. It's not just like a webcam or anything like that. Like I'm trying to use like professional equipment. Like I have boom mics and stuff like that. It might take a little bit of time to get you where you want to go, but at the end of the day, you're able to get there. You just really got to believe in yourself for a little while. Like the way that like you believed in like fucking Santa Claus for like 7 years of your like existence. Like you should totally believe in yourself for like a little while. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. I always have this fear, me personally, right? Like people are like, "Oh, so like what are some of your biggest fears?" Like when you go on an interview, and I'll share mine with everyone. I really don't mind because it's till this day I could genuinely say it's something I'm trying to get over. Like I'm not really good face to face. That's why I've been in marketing my entire life. I've just been better at marketing than I have been in sales because I'm not a face-to-face kind of person. And, to be very honest with you, the objective is to make sure that I'm able to get over that fear one day. And it's not that I can't talk to people. I can. I'm fun. I laugh real. Or people say I have a really contagious style laugh. I don't know. Maybe I do. But at the end of the day, like that's a fear of mine. I don't do good face to face. I've never did well. I've always done amazingly on the phone. I've done very good at emailing. I've done very, very good at marketing. Very good at event planning. I'm like amazing at those things. But you stick me in front of somebody I don't know, and are like, here, talk to this guy. In their space, bro, it's going to take me like, by the time like I'm able to sit comfortable in the chair to the time I'm actually able to have a discussion with this human being, I'm going to be falling apart. You know what's crazy? Me actually talking about it is giving me like a little bit of anxiety on the topic. But it's true. Like, that's a weakness of mine. I have no problems admitting it. I totally suck at talking to people I don't know face to face. On the phone, over any other context, oh my God, I could do amazing things. But like I said, everybody's got their weakness. Identify it. What's yours? You know, have I gotten better at it? Yeah. Is it still a weakness? That's why I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. You gotta understand where your vulnerabilities are. If you're able to do that, you could humanize yourself more as a person and be able to have more emotional conversations and connections with people. Not just necessarily in the business world, just to be a person, for God's sakes. You know? Always be consuming. Yeah, I like that better. Because, like, if you're consuming information, you're always learning something. Like, I could talk forever, dude. That's crazy. I have one of those bizarre gifts where if I really needed to talk for 8.5 hours about one topic in particular, my mind works as like an index where I have all of this information stored and I could pull it out at whim. But that's just, that's just how I operate. I have like a photographic memory where it comes to hard copied information about certain business related things, right? Like if I work for you and I get into your field, it becomes, an obsession, right? That's how it works for me. But that being said, you have to have that type of connection and discipline for whatever you do. Whoever's watching this training material, if you're selling, ice to the to the Eskimo, or, selling yourself to Heinz, or, going for, a really good job that, maybe you're not qualified for, or transitioning to a new field, like so many of my friends have recently. A lot of my friends switched roles since the pandemic, and they were like, Seb, dude, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, I tell them, I'm like, bro, try sales and marketing. I'm like, as long as a company is successful and they're hiring people to sell their material or their product or their services, it's a good recession-proof type of industry. You just have to work hard. You have to try really hard. You have to be persuasive. But be a human, man. The human element, bro, it's so powerful. Like, it's so forgotten about. I am, like, me personally, whenever I train people, I try to tell them, I'm like, guys, like, don't be scared to be vulnerable. Like, ask people if you could please help them, because sometimes people need to hear that. If you're not strong enough to open yourself up as a person, like how are you getting through the day? Like, for real. I just don't understand. Like, it's so much better to be able to have like a heartfelt connection. Like, yeah, dude, it's super easy to be miserable and shitty. It takes a little bit of effort to, try hard. Right? For all my gaming friends that, are going to watch this maybe one day in like 50 years, who cares, right? I'm doing this for me and for helping people that might need it, right? But you really have to think of it like that. Like, you're a person, you want to help people. How can you help this person? How can you help this person, right? Okay. So if I sold sand, okay, I would try to call every single daycare center, church, any place that has to deal with sand. And I would tell them, I want my sand and your lots And I have a super huge discount because I want the kids to be happy. I want them to have a new place to play. I totally love my kids. I want things to be happy for them. We're a local company. We're headquartered right here in my scenario. We're out of the tri-state area. Do yourself a favor. Please take a quote. If it's been there, it looks grimy, you haven't changed it for a while. What's the worst, taking a look at it? Maybe we could work it out. Maybe we could set up a payment arrangement if it needs to. But, what's the worst? What's the worst that's going to happen? Please take a look. You don't think you're going to get more people to be responsive to you versus, hi, I have sand? I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand why people can't just stop and think about what they're selling for a second and think about the type of emotional impact it's going to have on the person that you're talking to. Whoever it says to me, whenever I read the phone is dead on LinkedIn, let me tell you something. I want to, you know what? I throw up in my mouth every single time. How dare you? How dare you say that the phone is dead? Let me tell you something, okay? I started off when the phone was connected to the wall in my kitchen and the cord was so damn long to try to get some privacy. It looked like a Cat 5 cable going 100 feet. You think your email is going to get you a contract signed for a multi-million-dollar deal, $100,000 deal? You're crazy. You're crazy. You fell down and hit your head. You think from start to finish, you're going to get $100,000, multi-million-dollar deals without the fucking phone? Without you having a voice talking to another person over the phone? Let me tell you something. If you for 1 second think that video conference isn't still considered a phone call, put yourself on mute and talk on video and have a good time doing that. Shameful. You know what the problem is? The problem is that it's not that the phone is dead. The problem is that the people that are on the phone are dead. The problem is that leadership that is trying to train these individuals are failing them. That's what's happening. The phone isn't dead. You're dead. You don't know how to talk to people on the telephone. You don't have any courage. You're fearful. Get over it. It's a phone. It's a person. There's billions of us. People have been talking, my God, the world probably, the entire world has probably went through some ridiculous theories and things like that and other ridiculous theories. They say that the world has gone through 4 mass extinctions as far as people go. People have been talking for that long. You can't talk for 2 minutes? I don't get it. I don't get it. It hurts. It hurts me as a person. You can't talk for 2 whole minutes as a human being to another person. You can't talk to a person emotionally. What's wrong? Message me. I'll help you. It can't be that difficult. Maybe it's a mental health thing. Get help. I don't know what to tell you. Wholeheartedly, I wish that I could make people want to do better, but you have to start with evaluating what's up with yourself. Where's the fear coming from? Why can't I get on this phone and just do my job? Why can't I sound enthusiastic? Let me give you an example. All right? Let me qualify this call. What is this? Garbage. All right, here's a good practice. Here's a good exercise. Okay? All right? I want you to do this in your head. Whoever's watching this in the future, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to read this script to yourself in your head, okay? But here's how I want you to do it, all right? The first time you read it, I want you to read it like you're excited in your own head. I want you to read it excited, okay? Next thing I want you to do is I want you to read it upset. I want you to read it like you just found out some bad news. Okay? And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to read it just the way that you would kind of read it, like you would be reading a book, or like a pamphlet, or like an actual script. Okay? Now, in your heart of hearts, you sounded different. Tell me you didn't read those things differently in your mind, and you've sounded differently emotionally in your head. What you have to do is you have to project that from your brain to your mouth. This is where leadership is failing training in sales and marketing. They are not teaching their employees what it's like to be able to really use your voice to its full potential. Your voice, when they say the things like the pen is mightier than the sword, and I like to say the keyboard is more powerful than the gun. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you could switch it around, right? But there's a reason it's been said, and anything that has ever been recorded happened over voice. Dialect, put on paper, put on books, starts as voice, starts as emotion. Any book, any religious book, I don't care if you go to church on Sunday, you go to a temple, you go to any whatever division you decide is your pew, okay? Start it out as a really good story. Okay? That's it. Okay? And me personally, because I'd like to know at this point if I'm going to be the asshole talking about it, I'm just happy to be here. I believe that there is something out there, and I don't believe it's my right or wrong way to decide how it is for anybody to talk to whatever that divinity is. So there you go. That's my opinion. However you decide to, bring it up to your creators, up to you. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to be able to be okay with yourself and be able to talk emotionally in order to sell things. And you have to train your brain, okay? You have to train your brain, all right, in order to do that also, all right? It's amazing. You have to train your brain. At, whatever age you are, probably an adult at this point, you're still having to train your brain. And it's important to do so. I'm just gonna hover over these because these aren't really my sales pitches, and I'm keeping everything focused to technology based marketing and sales tactics. Would you feel comfortable with a ballpark? I'll leave it stationary for a second in case anybody wants to take a look at these, because this is really cool. This is actually the Wolf and Stratt training deck. It's pretty neat. So I got about 10 minutes. I try to keep these videos to about 40 minutes long because, I don't want to do overkill. And usually when it comes to training material, anything over 30 minutes, I want to shoot myself in the foot. But I like to consider myself a little bit entertaining. So between editing and all the other stuff and, things like that, I try to get going. The individuals you are calling are the top executives at a company and possibly many others. Many times, not only are they excellent retail clientele for, but they're also maybe good carriers for corporate, for prospects, for the company. Well, ooh, you know what this is? Oh, buddy, this is called relationship building with high-level executives and the potential of getting referrals. Other tips. Don't pick up bad habits. Yes, never ever disrespect or be discourteous to a prospect or their secretary. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, used to only take about 5 attempts to try to get a receptionist on the phone. They say that number is like 8. Let me tell you something. As a guy who's in the hustle, that shit could take up to fucking 16 attempts on cold calls. So yeah, if you think you're gonna get somewhere by acting like a dick to the secretary, let me tell you something. You are messed up. Because if you're really nice to that person, she might be able to not only help you, but if it's a small enough company where you're targeting locally, that lady might be able to really knock on a door for you and say, hey, listen, Mark, whatever the hell your boss's name is, this guy's been calling and I've been talking to him a couple of times and I'm really thinking he might be able to help us out. Can you talk to him for a second? I've had, listen to me, I've had gatekeepers, okay, go knock on doors and ask me. I had gatekeepers go upstairs for me. Don't say it can't be done. Say you didn't do it yet. Okay? Don't waste time. Know what you're talking about. Get in, get out. We could go over scripts in another video. Never comment on or after each phone call or late. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you something. I love it when people are happy that they got phone calls and are successful. You don't have to celebrate every single fucking nice phone call that happened. All right? Celebrate every deal that you got closed. That actually like closed when the contract came in. Then you want to be nice and be happy. Okay, fine. Just don't be a dick about it. Okay? Okay. Don't waste your time. I love that. I could make a whole video just on this topic alone. The things just not to do from this training manual to our current time. Don't waste your time. Never waste your time screwing around. Yeah, fucking cares. Do your job. 8 by 8 by 8, all right? If you don't know what that is, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of play. All right, figure it out. Go play with your friends after work. Fucking serious. Unbelievable. Don't waste anybody's time. What are you going to waste their fucking time for? Yes. No La La Land. No La La Land. If he's up and you're down, no conversation. If he's down and you're down, no. If he's down and you're up, bam. Why? Because you want to get people excited. Yes. You do a lot of things by getting people excited on the phone. They're qualifying questions. Things to do. Be a good guy. Don't be like a jerk. Right. Yeah. Have some respect, man. Have some respect for yourself. For real. Not for the, do it for the company, but do it for yourself first. Jesus, man. You're showing up. Do something good. Have a little pride. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. To the guy that's working till 8 o'clock thinking he's making himself better, he's not. There's only so much you could do in a day, man. You gotta know when you call your shots and when to call your quits. Let me tell you something. You want to do better? Show up to work earlier instead of staying stupid late. You'll get more people on the phone. Try it for a month. If I'm wrong, fucking message me. I'm not going to get any messages. It's fine. But do it. Doesn't matter how late you stay. Real decision makers, real people that make money show up early. Early bird worm thing. Actually true. Go figure. Make the most of your day. Play by the numbers. Blah, blah, blah. Speak to 50, 60. Da, da, da. Yeah, okay. I can see that. That's just fucking clown shoes. Between voicemails and automatic dialers and wrong numbers if you're in the cold call industry, you should be doing 50 calls just about 40 minutes outside of lunch. If you go to lunch at 12. If that's all you do. If all you do is get phone calls, if you only got 50 to 60 to speak to 50, 60 a day, it's not enough. You fucked up. Especially business to consumer, like what these guys were doing. If I was running a call center and I was doing consumer-based sales, my call center would shoot to have one lead an hour. If it was on these style metrics, especially if it was a periodic dialer, filtering out all the bullshit. That's just realistic. These guys could have made a lot more money. Fucking shame. I could do that more without even I could dial more than that by hand. With paper. It's fucking whatever. Thank every prospect. Yeah. 100%. You feel better. Getting off the call, you feel good. Saying goodbye to somebody, wishing them a good day, you feel better. I swear. Try it. Every call, I thank everybody for their time. Yep. I believe no matter what. Broker. I really wish people would understand this now. Be prepared to live your first 2 years like no one else. Working harder than you ever thought possible for the rest of your life. You will live like no one can. All right, well, I'm going to leave this here actually, and I guess I'll get to the ending part because this is a good space to end it because I'm coming up on 40 minutes. So let me tell you guys something. Like, you should work really hard all the time, not just for like the very first 2 years. But let me tell you something. Like, I've been dead ass broke and I've been successful and night and day, bro. That part of Wolf of Wall Street, when he says that shit, let me tell you something. That's real. That's real for me. That's real for a lot of people. All right? So if you're not in sales and marketing, or you're just getting into it, or you're thinking about getting into it, let me tell you something. You could fucking do it. You could do it. But you're going to work hard. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to think a little bit. You're going to have to do some research. But you will be successful. The only thing that really is like preventing you from being awesome at this is just starting, dude. My wife and I are a big fan of like B-rated movies, and Tommy Wiseau got a question on Twitter one time, and someone was like, tell me how do you start a screenplay? And it said, start. He responded, start. And that's true. You got to start. Don't be scared. Just do it. All right. We're coming up. I did it, guys. I did part 3. I'm looking to do 1,000 videos by 2025. If I can, I'm trying to do 100 by 2023. If by then everything's going great and I could just do this full time and make videos and be super awesome and help make a life is different all around the world, sure. If not, maybe by 2025 there'll only be 200, maybe only 150. But it doesn't matter. You have to start. If you haven't done anything today and you're snowed in, after you shovel, do a little research, get started. You could do it. Be better. I like to tell everybody that I'm so confident that I literally walk around my office knowing and feeling and saying that I'm the bib, the best in the business, baby. All right. So thanks for watching. I really hope you guys learned something. I hope you appreciated it. I hope I appreciate, you guys know that I appreciate you. You guys are legends. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go get myself a cup of coffee and go shovel some snow. All right, guys. Thanks again for everything.